Want to follow? Yeah, that's great news. I'm convinced to fill out a pledge card. Someone asked me earlier this week how I learned stewardship, and I swear I didn't talk to Aurora before this, but I was thinking about role models and the communion of saints who practice stewardship better than me, because I think the point of stewardship is this shift from me to a we. There's my father, who continues to write a quarterly check to the Catholic Church decades after he ceased attending. He might not believe in God, but he does believe in neighbors and in small institutions that build community. There's my partner, who has a nearly Ignatian indifference to anything beyond basic needs, which makes it very hard to buy him a Christmas present. And he matter-of-factly passes on anything more to others in greater need. For him, it's a simple matter of optimizing a dollar. I don't mind when that means there are fewer tax dollars going to the atrocities of an arms-loving empire and more going to life-sustaining work in our city and our world. There's a mentor of mine who builds communities of living theology around Dorothy Day's wisdom, that there is joy in sharing even the crust, and that scrapping by just $1 can become something so much greater, and in that process transforms us. And then there's the communion of saints and stewards we're surrounded with here at SPSA, all of you, because you have found some kind of belonging here, and as Julia Tulloch puts it, you want to bring to life what's happening on the bulletin, page 12, and page 8, and page... And so to continue the role models roll call, and these are from last year's testimonials, Kate Baum, who's inspired by the bustling chaos here Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday, who gives to support all of the activities going on to serve our neighbors. There's Brooke, who found a spiritual home here, whose story resonated so much with my own, and pours into that which nourishes her and her community. There's Emmanuel, who last week shared about finding a space here of welcome and joy, where love in action includes asking hard and critical questions. And there's Peggy and Ron, who give to keep it all going on. So I come here with this constellation of stewardship stories and not just a single testimony. Not to present a dozen reasons to give, although they're all very good ones, but because I need to be reminded that we're surrounded by a culture of stewardship, whose quiet, diligent insistence not on I, but on we, can fly under the radar and be drowned out by capitalism's roar. It's a commitment to one another, as Andrea said in our sermon, and it's a stewardship culture that radically turns from individual possession to mutual flourishing, that refuses dominion for divestment and replaces scarcity with abundance. Funnily, that kind of stewardship culture can be missing in churches with far larger endowments, but it's a sort of stewardship as holy resistance that I found here at SPSA. Stewardship of time and resources and gifts doesn't come naturally to me, and that's why I need to be surrounded by better stewards, by all of you. It's sometimes an uncomfortable way for me to practice love in action, but that action is a form of kingdom economics that I trust will shape me. A love in action through which I might unlearn the economics of whiteness and neoliberalism, its accompanying culture of scarcity and precarity, which I grew up in, and replace that to learn a faith of mutuality, a faith in the mystery of a few loaves that feed far more, or become 10,000 cookies. So stewardship for me is a prayer that what was never mine to begin with might flow out from me into that abundance that is everyday faith and love here at SPSA. I hope you'll join me in that prayer and pledge.